So if you can see back there in the background, there's a dust storm coming off of the salt flats and everything, and it's covering almost all of the western part of the city. And then you've got the conference spire right here, some of the water in here, and then Temple Square, Joseph Smith Memorial Building, and then that building, where's it at? Oh, you can't see it right now, but it's just really neat to see some of these buildings downtown. We'll get up in the other buildings and we'll see the skyline and how it looks. This is just the roof, and this isn't real soil that they have in here. It's like a shale kind of thing, and they've incinerated it to where it's fertile enough for the trees to grow and everything. The trees are bolted down so that they don't blow off. Then after so many years they'll replace them. It'll be a long time before that happens, but when they get so tall they can't be held down anymore. So this is very neat. This isn't real granite. It looks like a stone, but it's actually something that is a lot lighter, the stone up here, so it's not so heavy on the roof. The mountains and such.
The older you get, the more you want to remember things.
Well, sure.
Our tour group.
To tell you a little bit about the roof here, we have a roughly, there's 28 different varieties of plants which are flowers. All the plants and the flowers up here all come out of the mountains. They're all wildflowers. There's no annuals and stuff like. They are annuals here, some of them, but they're wildflowers that come on all the time. They bloom at different times of the year and so forth. But all the trees, there's roughly 15 different varieties of trees up here, and it covers an area of roughly 3.5 acres, or 4.5 of the whole the trees and so forth. And then there's a meadow over here that covers about 3.5 acres. So we, as we go around that, the soil up here is not your regular soil because it's been too heavy. So the soil is made up of the pumice and the small aggregate, which holds the trees and so forth, but it's very light.
Capitol building.
And the
state capitol.
So the soil ranges in depth anywhere from 6 feet to 6 inches.
I think that round domed hill is Ensign Peak.
Of course, you can see the Utah State Capitol right up there.
Yes, I used to come here in 1941.
1941? I bet it looks a lot different.
Yes.
Oh, does it? That is, my grandmother lived on the corner over here above the grocery store, and she worked in the ZCMI.
Oh, that's neat.
Used to come down here when I was a youngster.
There's a bunch of fast food now.
About a block, or
yeah.
whatever it is. The road that goes up the hill to the Capitol. There's a house right there where my parents' good friends lived. We used to go up there and visit them.
Well, I used to walk when I was a youngster down here, and I'd go in the church office and I shook hands with most of the presidents of the church at that time. And
they don't let you do that anymore, unfortunately.
No.
There's too many crazy people.
Yes.
That's unfortunate.
You what?
He said he used to go out into the church building when he was a kid and shake the hands of most of the presidents of the church. They don't let you do that anymore. These are the skylights down below where I was saying that they were making rainbows and everything. This is where the lights go into the conference center.
Now these are the 9 spires that maybe Red told you about them.
Yeah.
To get the light down in there.
And so this, where that fountain is originating from, just below there in the conference center, that's where the pulpit is, right? That's where the president stands and he speaks to the church.
Yep, that's it.
So that's kind of neat.
There's a problem. It has no food. They have to put it out.
That's neat. I wish I could swim in that. I'm going back to Indiana in 1 week, and then I am going to take a big long swim in my step-grandmother's pool. I'm so excited. I've been so hot this summer and I've had no way to cool off really. So as we look at this perspective, you've got the fountain right here, which represents the word of our Heavenly Father, and the prophet speaks to us, and so that comes forth. It flows down all the way down into the street where it's got the ditch where they've designed it to just flow down, and there's the temple right behind it. And so this is really symbolic. You see the roof of this building over here. We'll be up there in a little bit, and so we'll look down on this and you'll see everything that way, and it'll be really neat. Now this is another neat thing, this big plaque here that they've installed on the roof. It says, "And this gospel shall be preached unto every nation and kindred and tongue and people." And that's Doctrine and Covenants 133, section 37, or verse 37, section 133. And you can see me in this. I'm part of the picture. I'm one of them. So you've got Indian or Native Americans, Caucasians, African Americans, Indians, all kinds of different people from all ages, of all races, of all times, all the people. And then my face is right there. And if you were here, your face would be there too. And over here's the meadow. We'll go look at a little bit of the meadow and then I'll end this video. It's already 6.5 minutes and that's going to take up a big chunk. But that's okay. So before the conference center was built in 2000, these people in these apartments had a nice view of Temple Square and such. They're not missing out though, because the conference center is just as nice to look at. Let's actually go and look over here at the people. There's the pool over there at the apartments. I should have looked at living there. It looks pretty neat. And then you've got all these trees and all these plants, so there's a lot more than what you see just on the top. I'm not sure what you're seeing now, but okay. So you've got all that, and then here is the meadow. And then this is the kind of wild grass and prairie type things that you would have found here before the city was built. Just things that, more of the skylights, and then when in the fall, when it's time to get rid of all this stuff, the youth come up here and they take weed whackers to all of it, I guess.
With all the different grasses and so forth. In the spring, this is just covered with flower. I mean, it's yellow and purple and all the different.
It's really neat.
It's like an untended yard.
But it's all grasses. There are some flowers blooming around.
Yeah. So we're headed over to the spire now. Underneath the spire.
Digital movie camera?
Yes, it is. You're officially video blogged. I hope that's okay. If not, I'll edit your face out.
Well, you got a blog, so you probably want that. Or a bloke.
A bloke. A bloke and a blog.
Right.
See, as we get closer under the spire, there's a breeze actually. Hopefully we don't get dust in the face.
Well, we're going to get it in a few minutes here now.
Now, is it true that the change that they collect out of this water, people that throw change in here, that all goes to the primary general hospital?
Yep, primary children's hospital.
Yeah.
Yep. They've, over the last 6 years, since it's been open, it's amounts into the thousands of dollars. Right?
I don't disbelieve it. So I don't think there's any exception. The church would never start accepting money for people to come up here and swim.
Well, you can see right here. This was cleaned 2 weeks ago.
So 2 weeks ago there was none of this.
But, you know, right now, conference center visitors, we only have maybe 260,000 that come through the office. We used to get up to 300, up to 500,000 people come through a year.
You'll get more though as times get closer and things like that, I suppose. I'll just take this video because we're about to end. There's more of a breeze now since we're in this enclosed area. This water comes from the tunnel and it goes all the way down. All the way down. So